There is a land hidden between Rome and Tuscany where everything is very reasonably priced, but history, tradition, people, really people, are fantastic.
Via, pronti? E questo è un inno al vino.
You can easily buy for what you can get, maybe a garage in Chicago, New York, or Los Angeles, a little piece of paradise with fireplace and with a garden. A lovely place where you grow older or you send your friends and family. Please check us out. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight I have a special guest with me on top of my usual guest, Roy Heffner. But before I introduce you the special guest, let me introduce the city we will be talking about. Its name is Ischia di Castro. It's in the northern part of Tuscia, kind of close to Tuscany. And I want to show you some image of this fantastic land. Here is Ischia. It can look like the typical Italian borgo, very old, narrow streets. You can see the stones. Some people are very proud of their little house. We call these palazzetti, like little palaces, from the ground to the roof, terracello. Typically, a family owns that for generations. And as you can see, there is not much going on, to be fair. Nevertheless, I don't know when this video was shot, possibly in the summer, because all those flowers were in bloom. But the point is, it's easy to find an incredibly cute apartment in one of these streets where you can really have the time of your life. I mean, if you are 20, 25, you have to make a career out of yourself. But if you are a grown-up and you want to enjoy true Italian life, you can go downstairs in the morning, get some produce, some food, meet people, say hi to people. Everybody happy to see you. It kind of reminds me the Cheer song, no? Everybody's always here, and they're always here. The people make the difference. The people, as I say in the intro, it's really what makes this little borgy unique and a fascinating experience. Let's see. Let me go for my guest tonight. Again, I have my usual guest. His name is Roy Heffner. Roy, good evening. How are you, my friend?
I'm great, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Exactly. This is the first show of the new year. So anything exciting happened in Villa San Giovanni in the last 30 days?
Well, I don't know about excitement, but it's always a good time here. It's kind of quiet this time of year, although Christmas time and New Year's, it's great. You know, we had a great New Year's at our restaurant next door, and a lot of fireworks, and so things start happening in the next couple of months. You know.
So tonight we are going to be talking about Ischia di Castro. Do you know anything about it?
Well, I haven't been there, and I didn't know much about it until I checked it out, and it's quite an interesting place. It's got a lot of history, and it's a very beautiful village, and I plan to go there. My wife and I will take a little trip up there now that I know about it. So.
Very good. So let's ask our guest why he chose Ischia and how does he feel about the real estate opportunity there. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce Luis Gautieri. Luis, good evening. How are you?
I cannot hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me now? No. Try to get out. Come back. Let me get you out. Oh, sometimes it happens. I don't know why, but I think it has to do with the update of the system of the computer and stuff. I hope he's gonna come back. Okay, so did you see the video, the intro video, no, that I showed? That is really a typical Italian borgo. Do you agree?
It is. It's it looks like a typical Italian village, and it's quite interesting. And I was surprised it was a little larger than I thought. It was got like a little over 2,000 people there, where in our village we only have about 1,300. But it's much older than our village,
So, Roy, while we're waiting for Louis, here he is.
There it
Louis, can you hear us now?
I can hear you now. Yes.
So sometimes I don't really know how it goes, but with the update of the system of the computer, something gets screwy. So sorry I didn't tell you before. It's just enough to get out and get in. So the question we were going to pose you, well, first of all, who is Louis Gautieri?
Who is? I am sono americano in English or Italian?
English, please.
Okay. I'm an American who lives in Washington, D.C. We have a home in Ischia di Castro near Lago di Bolsena in Upper Tuscia. I am an accountant here in the U.S., a tax accountant, and I also host tours, Italian cultural tours.
Those are very fun and very exciting, and we'll talk another time. So Roy and I would like to, I assume even Roy, would like to know why Ischia di Castro? There are so many little towns to choose from.
Well, I had looked at, I think I said before, last interview, I looked over on Le Marche, and there was nothing really available. And I know Le Marche very well. That's where I spent all the years learning Italian. I on occasion stayed in an apartment in Gautieri di Castro with my friend Bert. And by staying there, I got to know the area a little bit better. The criteria generally was that I needed to buy somewhere or stay somewhere in a town with a train. Once I realized I drive, I don't care about the train so much. Then it opened up all of Italy, frankly. And then we found the little villages of Grotte and San Lorenzo Nuovo, all around the lake. And I saw a brochure with this cloister. Your video in the beginning walked right past my house.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, with an arc, and it had a card out front, a cartello, describing the historic significance of our home. But I saw this cloister in this beautiful picture, what you picture medieval to be, the arch, the gates, a cloister, the columns, the Corinthian column capitals. And so I went to look at it. And when I saw it, it was perfectly fine. We enjoyed it. I really love the building and then the whole block and the whole medieval center. And cost-wise, it was reasonable. So that was that.
Okay, so Louis, here I heard you saying that you said this already in another interview, but there was a different crowd. That was just to show the people in Tuscia who comes. This show that Roy and I do every last Tuesday of the month is specifically on real estate. So my point in the intro is in Tuscia, you can buy a piece of paradise with the same amount of money that in Washington, D.C., maybe you can buy a garage. Do you support the statement?
Yes. In fact, you could probably buy 2 little apartments in Ischia for the price of a garage here in Washington.
Okay. So let's compare notes. So, Roy, why don't you take over? Compare your experience with Louis, ask him a bunch of questions, see if he has the same experience you have.
A question. This is all in English for this interview.
All in English. This is for the Anglo market.
Okay.
We hope more people like you and Roy come to Tuscia.
Okay.
1, because we can have a bigger community. 2, because it's good that you guys bring a little bit of money. Okay, so Roy, take over.
Well, one thing I'm hoping this year, Giulio, is that, and Louis, is that we get someone who's listening to the show to come and buy a piece of real estate in Tuscia. So that would be my goal this year. But in checking out the village today, which again I've never been there, but I plan to go because it looks like a wonderful place. I was quite surprised at how inexpensive real estate is. I looked at a couple of real estate sites, and I was astounded. One place was available for 2,030 euros, but there was another for 8,000, another for 14,000. So these are much cheaper than, and they had photographs, and they were quite nice for 8 or 14,000. You wouldn't expect much, and the most expensive place I saw was 90,000, which was like a very beautiful home. So I was quite surprised at how inexpensive housing is there. Why do you think that is? Why is it?
Well, and that's one of the factors that helped decide to buy in this village. Mainly, it's a lot like the American cities where the kids have gone off to college somewhere, Milan or Rome. They don't generally come back. Most of the locals grew up in the medieval center, and they prefer the newer homes, maybe the 70s, 80s, just outside of the Centro Storico. The reasons I find it fascinating to be there are the reasons they've sort of moved out. But I think people would prefer to live elsewhere because jobs. I really do economically believe that's the mitigating factor.
Yeah, that's so true. The young people, a lot of there's hundreds, if not thousands, of villages in Italy which have been, lost a tremendous amount of population because the young people, there's really not a lot for them to do there. There's no discos, there's no, bars to hang out. What do you know about the history? I noticed that, Tuscia is a Etruscan, very interesting history. And I noticed that your village has some Etruscan background.
We do.
But and a lot of other culture, like the Lombardis were there, and the French were there, and so it's very interesting history there.
It really is, and it dates back to the Etruscan times. And we have a little museum in Ischia di Castro that has a number of Etruscan artifacts and local finds. In Viterbo is the chariot, the Etruscan chariot. And we had it on display in Ischia di Castro about a year ago for maybe 6 months. And then each succession government, if you will, or population, has put their mark on Ischia. It is, I find it fascinating. I find it historical. I find it never-ending, something new. I don't believe a lot of people who grew up there, like, maybe where I grew up in Pennsylvania, I don't think highly or much of the historic sites there because you took them for granted. I think that's similar here. Foreigners really do appreciate and see it more openly than if you live around it.
I read about several of the things to see there, but what seems most interesting is La Rocca, the famous. So is that really something to come and visit and see, La Rocca, the castle?
It's a Farnese palace. It is privately owned. He does open it up for a man in Rome, Stefano Aluffa. And he does open it up for city events and private events and things like that. So it's definitely worth seeing. He restored it beautifully, and it's right in the center of medieval center. So it's absolutely worth coming to see by appointment, I imagine. And if anyone wants the phone number, I have it. We can put them in touch.
I noticed there was a lot of history with the Farnese family. Was the major family in the village. Were they responsible for La Rocca? I mean,
it's an original Farnese palace. And Farnese, the town of Farnese, is only about 1 kilometer away or a mile away or so. It's not very far. It's a beautiful town too. It's absolutely gorgeous, inexpensive homes, architecturally stunning, like Ischia is. The Farnese had, La Rocca was a palace here, and my home down the block was owned, or sort of a palace of Sebastiano Gandolfi. Did I say that right? Gandolfo?
Yes. So, Luis and Roy, forgive me for intruding. So, I want to make a remark. Let's see if you guys agree. The beauty of this little borghi, this little town, for sure there is a big palace, a castle, something most of the time. But I find fascinating that just walking around the little street, narrow street, people saying hi, maybe a door decorated in a specific way, or a wall of rocks and so forth. That is something I never get tired of. What do you think, Luis?
Absolutely. I walk out of our place. I wish I had a photo to show you. Out of my front door in the morning, I don't care what time of the year, just looking up at the patio up there, the steps that are worn over centuries. They're not smooth steps. There are columns that are falling apart. That are, our house is built in the 1500s, around 1540. And walking out of the gate has got a little broken latch. It has since we bought the place. It's just part of the history of it. Walking around Centro Storico, there are just lots of little grottos, lots of little homes that are built out of the grottos. The people who live in our village, as many of the others, have made use of the little bit that they can to make it flowery, pots hanging off your door. In fact, we were Comune di Fiorita for many years in a row. That has fallen off. It'd be nice to get back there. So yeah, it's spectacular. As an American walking through there, this is incredible to me. I can picture horses.
Let's go from incredible to So you went through it. How hard was it to buy a place in Ischia?
Not very difficult to buy it, to do anything else maybe. I had a wonderful realtor who is Ricardo, who's in Ischia, and she walked everything through. There were only a few must-haves. I needed to get a codice fiscale. I needed a bank account, and that was kind of it, and the money. I looked around with her. We put a contract in July 26th, maybe, and I settled a month later. It was not very difficult.
1 month escrow. That's fantastic.
Yeah, she was good, and I think that's the real importance is she got all the ducks in a row before we went to a notary to do much. The plats, the description, the things filed with the turbo were all ready. And so we just went. I just needed to bring checks.
Fantastic. Roy, did you think it was that easy?
Well, based on the experience my son was having, it wasn't difficult. I mean, you seem to think it's much more difficult than it is, but I think what Lewis was saying is important. You need to find yourself a good local person, a lawyer or one of those other people. What's the person that does all the
Notaio?
Yeah. But you want to find that person, and because they have connections, they're well respected, and they cut through the red tape. And without that person, if you're doing it on your own, it'd be very difficult.
Okay, Luis, different question. When you go back to Ischia, what is the first thing you look for?
When I get into Ischia, I'll tell you what I do. Because I have met many people over the last, it's going to be 10 years, it's 9 years. I fly in the morning to Fiumicino. I'll probably go into Rome for a day. The next day I take a train out to Viterbo, pick up my car, because it's a third the cost to pick up my rental car in Viterbo. Then I go to Coop, the grocery store, and I usually arrive in Ischia di Castro between 1 and 4. Most people are quiet, they're home eating. So I can sneak into my apartment and spend a day or so getting settled. So that's what I do when I get there. Then when I'm ready to emerge, It doesn't matter. Just walk up the street and there's someone to say hello to and how are you and bentornato. And it's really a nice feeling. The reason I sneak in.
Let me tell you one thing. Yeah. I'm going to go back to Los Angeles tomorrow, and I'm not going to say hi to anybody.
At all. There's no one to say hi that you would? See, in Ischia, I only hide so that I have a minute to breathe, and then I can actually spend a minute saying hello to people. Otherwise, it's 45 minutes till I get to my house, and then it's time to start making dinner arrangements and lunches, and so I take a break. But that's the first thing I do. Beyond that, then there's the little grocery store. There's my baker. There's the pizza place. I make an appointment for my hair to get my hair cut. I mean, there's all this.
Okay, Luis, I have a question based on what Roy always tells us. What is your experience with the mercatino, where you go and get the produce?
It's been pretty good. They've brought really good stuff to us, and the fish guy comes, and there's other marketable things, but it's been very good. It's fresh.
That's what you like, Roy, right?
Well, my neighbor down the street, I get fresh. When I say fresh, I say I need some broccoli. He goes out in the field and he cuts it.
That's lovely. That is nice. I love that.
Okay.
But even the produce and other, in the grocery stores, the major grocery stores are fantastic because it's all just local. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not like they imported it from Chile or the United States. It's
Correct.
all fairly locally grown. So even in the local, the large stores, the food, the fresh food is just fantastic. So
it is fresh, and I've had to learn to use it now because it does spoil quickly because it's not artificial.
Okay, Luis, different question. You just went back to Washington, D.C.
Yes.
What and when do you start missing something about Ischia?
Oh, as soon as I get here. Because like arriving there, when I arrive here, there's a million things to do. There, I can close the door and nobody knows I'm home. But no, I miss the grocery. I miss the quieter. We have 1,000 people who live in this building alone in Washington. There 100 might live all in Centro Storico. I don't know. But yeah, no, I do. I miss being over there. It's really pleasant.
Okay, Luis, I am going to invite you to Villa San Giovanni, where Roy is.
Yeah.
May 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, because we do Tuscia and Fiore there. Roy, do you think it's a good time to invite him?
Well, duh.
So what day, May?
If you come here, it's a fantastic experience. It's just you won't believe it. Now Giulio has set this Tuscia and Fiore up in many villages. None of them compare to what we do. None of them.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I look forward to it.
Is into it, and it's a whole spectacular. We got, we'll get a couple thousand people coming here. Again, we only have 1,300 people in the village.
Really?
But one of the nice things about our village is we have an unlimited amount of parking right in the center of the village because we have these huge open fields. No other village has these open fields that we have. So we can park 1,000 cars if we had 1,000 people.
Well, excellent. Excellent. We'll come down. I will come down.
Okay, Luis, you just promised to come and visit us in Villa San Giovanni. Now you have to tell us when Roy and I should come and visit you in Ischia.
Ischia does a art festival for 3 days, AMA, at the end of July, the last weekend of July. I'm usually not there for that. If I'm going to be there, I'll put that invitation out.
Yeah, but it's too hot. July is out for me. I am in Santa Monica.
Then in September, come and see me in September when I have the art group there. The first week of September, so anywhere from September 5th through the 5th.
Okay, Roy, we have to go. We have to go and visit Luis.
I would. Luis, do you have any? Do you have a restaurant in town?
We do. Salvatore and La Fiaba.
Pretty good.
Yeah, both are very good. The local, the one is from Sardinia, the other is local Ischia. But both are wonderful, and Farnese is very close by with a few of their own. Valentano has several, and Tuscany is not very far with a dozen.
Luis, what do you eat at those restaurants?
I like the ragu con cinghiale. I like the meats that they prepare. Pizza at La Fiaba often.
I have a personal embarrassing question for you. Are you ready?
Sure.
Be careful what you answer because they will know, okay?
Yes.
You like better the gelato in Ischia or Farnese?
Ischia. Senza dubbio. Without a doubt. I think that vote was rigged. We were number 2.
They were not rigged. They were not rigged. Roy, do you know of the rivalry between Ischia and Farnese? It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's sort of like a high school, yeah.
It's like us and Bleda, you know.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
There are stories of a bunch of kids from each village going in the middle and throwing rocks at each other.
The briganti.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm going to ask you a question, but I assume I know the answer. So, Luis, would you recommend to an American to buy a place in Ischia?
Absolutely. Several have, in fact. I've helped 2 of them this year alone. So when they come in, Ricardo doesn't speak English, and I'll do that for her. So I'll help and show and guide them and be happy to do it. Inexpensive, not difficult to renovate. I renovated 7 apartments in the last several years. All little tiny apartments, all very inexpensive. I only use them for my groups. I don't rent them out generally, but I've learned how to do all that. The locals are happy to help.
Very good. So, Roy, do you have a question for Luis?
How long are you going to be here? Because I would come visit with my wife because I want to come see the village. How long are you going to be here?
I will come back. I'm just looking at flights now, around the 20th or so of April through the end of May. All right. So, and then I'll come back maybe the 3rd week of August till the end of October.
Luis, can I guess that you are traveling after busy season?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Around the 20th. I'm there definitely for the whole month of May and the whole month of September. So
you have no way out. You have to come and visit Villa San Giovanni in Tuscia, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Absolutely.
And you have to look me up, and we are gonna go and look for Roy, of course.
We will.
We will give you a special guided tour, and hopefully Roy is gonna invite us in and offer us a glass of wine, right, Roy?
There you go.
Of course.
There you go. So, Roy, did you visit Ischia? Did you go up and see it?
Myself?
Yeah. Well, yes.
Oh, I've been there multiple times. I even spent a little bit of time, I was telling Roy, for a grape harvest a while back. Fantastic place. I love it. I absolutely love it. I just find amazing that these little jewels are not discovered by many people. I don't say that you have to be there if you are 16, 17, 20, 25 or whatever. I think you have to be a little older to appreciate and have a different lifestyle, of course. It's fantastic, I think.
Agreed. It's really, the surprising thing is it's very affordable in the smaller villages in Italy, particularly these up in Upper Tuscia.
So, Roy, tonight we discovered that, yes, with what you can buy one garage in Los Angeles, New York, and Chicago, you can buy a piece of paradise in Tuscia. But in Washington, D.C., one garage, 2 pieces of paradise.
50,000 or 70 for a garage here. There's an apartment for 16,000 with 4 bedrooms on the market right now in Ischia. I saw just before I left.
Once you are there, quality of life is high and everything is pretty reasonably not expensive, right?
Absolutely. You could live there very easily. You could live there on a Social Security pension alone.
That's what I do.
Very easily.
You know what I think? When I go rarely to Starbucks and I pay $3.50 for a bad coffee, and I think if I am in Viterbo, €1.20, I get a fantastic coffee.
Correct.
1/3.
That's it.
Literally 1/3.
Or €20 for a 2 or 3 course meal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Easy. Very good, you guys. Thank you very much. We strongly suggest Ischia and in general Tuscia. If you want to be a little bit more on the seaside, there is a seaside, there is a mountainside, the area close to Rome, the area close to Tuscany. There are a couple of lakes. It's really a fantastic place, and the agriculture is very rich, and the variety is amazing. So I want to thank both of you guys. So let's start with Luis. Luis, do you want to make a last remark before we go?
I hope someone watching here reaches out and comes to see Tuscia, Ischia, and hopefully someone does buy something.
Very good. Roy, what about you? Any last remark?
I told you my goal this year is for us to find someone from our show to come and buy some property here in Tuscia. That's the goal of this show.
Good.
Absolutely. Ischia. Roy, last time I invited Luis over, he had another t-shirt written Ischia. This time as well. You have to get a villa t-shirt. You have to get a villa.
You know, that's a good idea. I'm going to make sure my mayor, my nephew, gets some T-shirts for us.
Very good.
Very good. I thank both of you guys. And Luis, again, I want you back. You're so much fun. I want you to tell us about Italian cultural tours because it's kind of exciting. So to Roy, as always, and to Luis for the special night, thank you very much. You guys have a great evening and enjoy your stay in Washington and Villa San Giovanni.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, Roy. Take care.
Regista, com'è andata oggi?
Bene, benissimo, come sempre. Ci vediamo alla prossima, Giulio.
Dalla Tuscia